Hey everybody. You guys enjoying the year? You guys getting ready for next year, as we all say, the 20s? I am, as you can tell. But yeah, as we all know, in a few hours, 2019 will be no more, and 2020 is here upon us. My God, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Time has gone by fast. I can't believe it's already 2020, man. I just don't believe it as well. But yeah, the 2010s are going to be behind us soon. I'm just taking it all in for the last time. I'm taking in the 2010s era last time. But it truly is the end of the era today. And I can't believe it's happening. I don't know. There's we've had some best moments in the 2010s. The best, worst scenario, a mix, anything. But yeah, it's been quite a year. It's been quite a decade. And I'm glad to been alive around here to see it through. Out and out. So many great memories. So many not so great memories, of course. But of course, let's start with the best memories. Yeah. So yeah, I was about 14 going into this decade. It's still... Was I still... Yeah, I was in 7th grade, still in middle school at the time, so yeah. I was a little boy back then. I can't believe I'm old now. Oh, man. Oh, I'm gonna cry. No, not really. I'm joking. But yeah, I remember just going to Hawaii at the time. That summer of 2010 was great. What else happened? What else? I kind of don't remember that much of the 2010 and 11 that well. I mean, and I know this is gonna be controversial, but I know a lot of people hated this movie, but I remember just being hyped for the third Transformers movie. Yeah, the Michael Bay movies. I know, boo, huh? You're all wondering why I didn't go for Harry Potter. I wasn't hyped for the part 2 of Deathly Hallows. I think that's called. Yeah. I never got into Harry Potter. What can I say? Moving on. Let's just get away from that controversial topic. Okay. Anyways, but yeah, I remember. Not sports. Let's go for sports later. I remember just for music. Personally, I just remember when I was in high school, some of the students over there would just constantly play Gangnam Style. Constantly. Oh man, it was in every computer, it was in every monitor, it was in every radio in my school. And I wouldn't say I was annoyed with it. I was kind of up to the beat, but just constantly, it just went over my head, and I was just like, oh boy, this is quite an addiction. This is something special, I guess, the song. I don't know. I mean, I'm not really a music lover. I used to be, but not now, not anymore. But yeah, that wasn't the only one. That wasn't the only song they would constantly play. It was also what does the fox say? And what else? Oh my god. And that Friday song from what's her name? I gotta get up on Friday something. What's the artist's name? Carly Jasper or something like that. I don't even know. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not a huge music lover, but anyways. And of course, moving aside to my favorite topics, politics. We have also had the Obama and Trump years, and Trump is still president at this point. What else? What else happened? Okay, well, since I can't really think of it, I'm gonna go ahead to it. Also, we've had the sports era. Oh man, I remember the Heat, the early 2000s, where the Heat was pretty much took over that early of the decade. Oh man, I remember being at my grandmother's house, just watching the decision live on television. And of course, my grandma doesn't really know the sport at all. I remember when LeBron said those words, I was just like jumping out of joy. I was like, yeah, woohoo, woohoo. And also, and also, good coincidence. I don't know. I don't know if it was that day, that morning, but I think that day when, or before that night when LeBron made that decision. I think me and my grandmother. I can't remember if it was a couple days or that day, but me and my grandmother traveled to the arena at that time. Yeah, I remember just walking up to the arena, going to the store, and I remember Bernie being on that balcony. Oh yeah, that Bernie's not coming down until Wade signs. Oh wow, yeah, I'm a little bit sick, but I'm good to talk anyways. But yeah, it was quite a crazy day that year. Quite. It was like a New Year's. It was like that. It was like that was the New Year's day, truly, for us, Heat Nation at the time. Or actually, before Heat culture or Heat Nation was a thing back then. It was still just Miami Heat. And also, for those who keep bashing at LeBron for going to the Heat, yeah, I understand. But here's the thing, you guys just forget, okay? Miami, even though they won their first championship 4 years ago, they were just a playoff team at that time. Okay, they were like the Cavaliers. They couldn't get past the Celtics' big three. You know, Ray Allen, Paul Pierce, Rajon Rondo, Kevin Garnett. They couldn't get past those guys. Okay, so yeah, Miami. Just like get you just to let you guys remember. All right, Miami was not a playoff team at that time. But anyways, of course, LeBron helped us win 2 chips in 2012 and 2013. Oh my God, that was 2013. Has to probably be the greatest finals I've ever seen, or at least for the Heat history. I don't know if they're gonna. I don't know if I'm ever gonna see that again. Possibly, maybe. I don't know. And then of course LeBron left, went back to Cleveland, and then Warriors dominated the rest of the era for this decade. Yeah, it was pretty much LeBron and Curry, and of course Kawhi going at it. And of course there was Dirk in the 2011. And Kobe won the 2010 finals. I remember that game, but yeah, it was it was quite a decade. Not mentioning D-Wade at all. Apparently not. Yeah, with all D-Wade was the champ, trying to like get this team back on the streets, trying to like work his way through those knees. He's quite a player. He's one of the greats, and I'm glad I was alive to get to experience that. But yeah, and of course this year with the one last dance from Wade, that was quite a roller coaster of emotions to go through, just to get to that point in April. Oh man, I didn't even tear up, but I was just sad. Like I was sad and humbled at the same time. Oh my God, it was so emotional going through that. But thank you, D-Wade. Thank you for everything you've done. The Heat are going in the right direction, even though that loss from last night, that was pretty painful. But stuff happens in the end, right? Anyways, now to my favorite topic of all, the media, Hollywood. Oh my God, what a year this was for the movies. We've had like some great hits, not some great hits that are like cult favorites. We've had Disney go back to being the regular self since the Renaissance era with Frozen, even though I'm not really a fan. But yeah, they reinvented themselves with Frozen, Moana, and there was Zootopia and Big 6, even though I've never seen those 2 movies. I'm planning on to see them. What else? We've also had old fan favorites come back into this decade, like Terminator, Mad Max. What else? Star Wars is another one. And of course, not Jurassic Park, but Jurassic World, as they proclaim it. I saw the first one, did not see the second one because I heard it was bad. But the first one was, the first Jurassic World was decent enough. That's all I wanted. That's all my expectations were on that movie, but yeah, that was a handful, and it was great seeing the old cast of Star Wars come back most of them, and that's the one criticism I have with this new trilogy is that Han and Leia and Luke never got to have one scene together. That would have been great. That would have been a perfect thing to do before sending these characters off. That was honestly a wasted opportunity. That was a missed opportunity right there. But you can't get everything apparently, so oh well. What else? What else? And of course, the less popular topic, as you all proclaim. Oh yeah, this year saw a cinematic universe with superheroes dominating over the box office. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, the DCU. No, I'm joking. Not the DC universe. I'm talking about the one and only Marvel Cinematic Universe. Oh man, what a decade this was for this movie. Yeah, I think if we're going to talk about movies and media for this decade, the Marvel Cinematic Universe easily defined this decade. It instantly defines this generation. And I'm glad to have experienced it all the way to this point. Oh man. And I remember going, I think it was like the second day after it opened on Friday in when did it come out? May 4th of 2012? May 4th or 6th. I have to go back and look at it, but I remember staying at my aunt and uncle's house and my little cousins who were, I think they were in elementary school at the time. I remember going to the packed theater in a movie theater down in Miami. But oh man, that was an experience I will never ever forget. Well, I've sort of had this experience with Hunger Games. Speaking of which, that's another movie series I forgot to mention. But oh man, yeah, the Hunger Games. I was not all that thrilled. I just didn't understand it. I mean, I do now, but yeah, that was like the first movie where people were cheering and clapping and crying. It was like, oh wow, that's kind of cool. At the same time, I didn't understand it, but it wasn't my favorite movie. But Avengers was just something I loved and I truly got, and people were just laughing, cheering, clapping, laughing, and just they were into it like I was, and that was a wonderful experience with the first Avengers. Like, wow. I think that movie got me to love superheroes again. That was the one movie that reinvented my love, my interest in this saga, in this franchise. That's something I'm never, ever, ever, ever gonna forget. And of course, yeah, I think Spider-Man 3 was like the one movie where it just disappointed me, and I was like, oh, I don't like superhero films that much now. I don't know what to go. I mean, yeah, we have, even though the MCU didn't really start until 2008 with the first Iron Man, but I don't know. Yeah, it's weird because, and I know that Bob Iger, that Disney owned, that they bought Marvel in 2009. So technically, the first MCU movie would be Iron Man 2, which that would be the first MCU movie I saw in theaters, technically speaking. But yeah, I mean, the movie was okay, of course. We've had ups and downs with it. Yeah, there's been ups and downs with those movies, with Iron Man 3, Thor: Dark World, The Hulk, which, oh my god, going back to that movie, going back to seeing The Incredible Hulk with Edward Norton, wow, that movie did not age well with me. It really did not. Oh man, the CGI looks like a mess. It's just so disgusting to look at that. I'm sorry, but yeah, it did not do me justice when I went back and rewatched it. But and then we have some mediocre films like Ant-Man, even though they're not bad movies, they're fun little movies. No pun intended, but yeah, they're fun independent adventures. they're fun independent movies. I meant not really independent, but I mean like independent, like just another hero worrying about about minor scales at that time. But yeah, they're fun. They're fun movies to watch. Of course, Paul Rudd is perfectly casted. He really is. But what else? And then we've had some. But yeah, no, I really can't think of anything else for this decade. So yeah, we got most of the ups, but I think part of the downs was, of course, the violent shootings that have happened, such as Sandy Hook, the Aurora shooting for the Batman movie, the third Batman movie, The Dark Knight Rises. And we've had a lot of deaths that hit us hard this year, such as, of course, David Bowie, Jose Fernandez, even though I'm not a Marlins fan. Who else? Prince, Carrie Fisher, late in the year. That was heart-wrenching there. And of course, even though most of those deaths were in 2016, which, that was a yikes. And of course, the great Leonard Nimoy. Who else died this year? There was also the Big Bang, no, not the Big Bang thing. What's that show? The Brady Bunch mother died. I forgot if it was last year or 2017. In Thanksgiving. I know it was around Thanksgiving, but yeah, I think it had to be 2017. Oh man. Yeah, it's been a while. What else? Who else? Yeah, it was just that was not a good year to see those. And oh my god, and I almost forgot. And we also lost in 2014, of course, as you all know. We lost my childhood here, one of my childhood actors from the 2000s and 90s, and everyone fell in love with him. The great comical Robin Williams, of course. And to this day, that has to be the most shocking thing I've ever heard in my life. Him committed suicide. Out of all the celebrities, I never would have guessed that he would be the one who was depressed his whole life. I would never would have seen him be I would never see him have this facade of happy clown, sad clown. That was just I was sad that whole night. I wouldn't say I was in tears because, of course, I don't really know him, but that was just something that broke my heart, honestly. Oh, man. Of course, Paul Walker died in 2013. And it was kind of weird, 2 years later, we had to, see Fast 7, and we had to see him again, all CGI'd with his brothers. Oh, man. Yeah, the 2010s, it's not a flawless year, of course. Like every other decade, it's not a flawless year. A flawless decade. Oh, my words are jumbled today. Oh. But yeah, it was quite of a decade to go through. And also, as I forgot to mention, yeah, also back to movies, we've also had The Dark Knight Rises, or we had Christopher Nolan close out The Dark Knight Rises arc. We've had Pixar coming back with sequels, of course, with The Incredibles, Finding Dory, Toy Story 4, which were good. They're not the best. I mean, they're not better than the first original movies back in the 2000s. But they did their best to honor them. And of course, oh my god, speaking of Disney, we've had quite a year with all those remakes, which was just they were just okay. I don't see why they need to really invest these monies based on nostalgia. I get that if they want to reinvent these stories for a new generation at this time, but they really it's like telling a painter to repaint a Van Gogh painting, The Starry Night, for example. It's good, but it's not their original work. It's not it has no Aurora. Alright? Like, it loses its originality if you do that. And that's how I look at these Disney remakes. These live action remakes, I would say. Like, see, that's probably like the con for Disney at this point. Like, just keep doing your animated films, making films like, Frozen, Moana, Big Hero 6, Onward, which is coming out. I mean, that's a Pixar film, but yeah, keep going that direction. Make more original stuff, which I'm glad Pixar is doing. No more sequels. Go on with originality. That's fine. I love that. And of course, I don't know. That's all I can think of at this point. I'm losing ideas, to be honest. But yeah, so I asked you, fellow viewer who's watching this, what will you remember of this decade? Even though I summed everything up at this point, but is there a special moment around this generation that stood out the best for you? What will you, specifically, to anyone watching this, what will you remember from this special decade? And honestly, there's been tough times there's tough times I had to go through, and there's like some special moments I've had, like like me graduating high school in 2015. It was a bit of I wouldn't say it was a bit emotional. It was a bit mixed with me. I was glad to move on from school, but at the same time, it was kind of rough saying goodbye to some of the classmates I've made friends with, or some of them, or a couple of them. I talk to them sometimes, but you guys know who I'm talking about. But yeah, for me, like, some of the other, whoever says this decade was the worst, but is probably like, is their opinion really? That's fine. I don't really care. But for us, for us younger people, I would say it's one of the best, if not the great. Well, I won't call it the greatest, of course, but yeah, the technology has advanced now. Netflix is a thing. People are no longer watching television. People are like now streaming on on computers, iPads, tablets. Everything's changed at this point. We're no longer, online gaming is a thing now. We don't have couch gaming that much as we had when we were kids. We now have to go online to talk to people and make friends from gaming or anything like that. Not that it's a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. But I'm just saying it's a different experience now. It's a unique experience. That's all I'm going to say. But yeah, I'm truly going to miss this decade. I'm truly going to remember. It's going to be one of those decades even though I'm not that old yet, I still have many years to go, but yeah, I'm gonna remember this, just like I'm remembering the 2010s the 2000s right now. Yeah, it was pretty. Well, I didn't really understand it, but it was a pretty rough time going from the 2000s to the 2010s. So many great shows from my childhood. Ed and Eddie. Yeah, just watching Ed and Eddie end in the 2000s. Just watching, Ed and Eddie closing out the 2000s on Cartoon Network. That was something. Of course, there's a lot of other shows that I haven't watched. Game of Thrones. Sorry, can't get it. I've never seen an episode. I don't know. I just can't watch any HBO shows. I just don't want to. I just don't have the time invested in me. But yeah, so going back to my question. So fellow viewer, what will you take from this decade going into the 2010s? That's all I ask from you. So yeah, right now what time is it? Okay, it's like, We have many hours left until 2020 is upon us. So 29, so 2010s, you were a great decade. I salute you for helping me all the way. Even though that, but yeah, I forgot what I was going to say, but yeah, thank you for 2010s for being what you are. You defined a brand new era at this time, and I'm hoping the 2020s do something different. I'm hoping the 2020s do something special as well. 2020, I can't wait for you. I can't wait for you in a few hours. 2019 is almost done. I will truly remember this decade from my heart. Here's my new resolution for you, 2020s. I'm hoping you will be not necessarily a perfect decade, but I'm hoping to make the best out of you. I'm hoping this will be something special. For that, then that's all I have for you. Goodbye, 2010s. Goodbye, 2019. Here's the 2020s, everybody. See you later. See you next year.